Yours truly, Ricovibes. This is the Flavor Radio. I've got a special guest on the line who's getting ready to perform this Sunday on the Atlanta Jerk Fest 2022. Mr. Chubb, welcome, my brother.
What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm here, man. How you doing?
Feeling blessed, man. Feeling blessed.
Are you ready for Sunday?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is, sad and, fun at the same time because, I always think about my friend Glenn Simmons when I think about the Jerk Festival.
Right.
And he was the first one to, invite me to be part of the Jerk Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Some 8 years ago, whatever it's been. And, so just paying respect and tribute to him, I will always do that. So I'm excited about doing it. Cheryl is like a sister and everything. So I'm excited about it.
Wow. Now let's take us back because I'm old enough to remember living in New York City back in the 80s, 90s when you first dropped on the scene. What was it like back then getting into the music business?
Well, I came in 86.
Mm-hmm.
I came in 86. It was a beautiful time, but you still had to do your due diligence because though record companies understood hip hop a little bit, they wasn't totally convinced that it was something that would continue,
Right.
So you had to really kind of prove like, okay, I'm willing to, do an investment in this kid here, And that's all I was a kid. I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was so young, I didn't even sign my contract. My mother signed the contract.
Oh, wow.
So, it was a different time, man. And then those labels back then more was like a family because, again, we're kids and they want to make sure that you're good and, that you stay safe and you have a good experience with this. And, so it was a different kind of vibe. And those people are friends of mine to this day.
Wow.
So, we've known each other, obviously, at this point, 35 years, so, and more, 37 years, whatever it's been. And, great time rocking with artists and artists that you love their work. And, I came in fans of EPMD and Big Daddy Kane and Bismarck and, all of that vibe. UTFO was my kind of guiding light group because we were all from Flatbush and
Right.
all Caribbean people and stuff like that. So we came from that little Caribbean area of Flatbush and, just, man, it was electrifying, man. It was beautiful.
Now, being from the Caribbean, of course, you're from Jamaica. You were born in Jamaica. Why gravitate towards hip-hop versus reggae dancehall?
No, I mean, my situation really was that we were really raised here. I was technically born at Kings County Hospital. It's just that when I was born in Brooklyn, my father wanted to move back to Jamaica, so we moved back to Jamaica when I was 3 months or 4 months, and stayed there until I was 5. I think it was 5, and then we moved back when he had a better opportunity in America, and then my mom wanted to go back to school and this and that, and then we came back here, so was raised in it, and
Right.
my family, and then of course you go to school in America, and you're part of the vibe. So dancehall music for me would have came later anyway, but I was already drenched in hip hop by the time I was in 6th grade, and Rapper's Delight came out.
Right. Wow.
And you fell in love with that vibes. I always wanted to make sure have a mix in my music. Like just the two of us and the Grammys and I'm Too Much. I always incorporated, Studio One grooves and stuff like that.
Right.
because that's what I grew up with. And my mom had a club, a bar, a restaurant, and that's all they played in the bar. And then, we used to play music in there, and she had her own sound system and all that kind of stuff. So
wow, so you grew up in the culture.
Yeah, so those kinds of things was always drenched, and she was always a fan of just mingle it, mix it together type of vibe,
Right. Wow. Treat 'Em Right obviously is your your big hit. When you recorded that, you asked a typical question, did you expect it? But did you really expect it to be as big as it is 30 plus years later?
No. I mean, we never really even think that it was going to be big even back then. We just was, we make records and, we hope for the best. It was Dougie Fresh, because when we mixed that record, Dougie Fresh was there. Because we recorded, we didn't go to studios to record our music. My music, my albums were recorded in my aunt's basement, which was my cousin, Howie T was my producer, right? So we recorded our music in my aunt's basement or my mother's basement. And we mixed those records there. So Dougie was there when we were mixing Treat 'Em Right, and he just kept saying, that's gonna be the one, that's gonna be the one, but we never thought, we didn't know one record from the next, we just going and having fun making records. We didn't really, at least I didn't think that I knew how to pick a hit.
Right.
I just, I just like, okay, whatever, it's a record, what's the next one?
Right.
And that kind of vibes. But, when it just took off and in the manner in which it took off, and then it never left. It just seemed like it just always stayed.
Yeah, it's a classic. I mean, true form of the word classic.
Yeah, it never went away. So I don't know, man. It's difficult to pinpoint when those kinds of records exist, man. But for hip hop, they always say there's about 10 of them, and Treat 'Em Right is one of them.
Is one of them, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Once again, folks, we're talking live with Chubb Rock. Now, everybody, a lot of people have podcasts now, but you got into radio before, the podcasting was really popular. What made you go in that direction?
Well, it was really by mistake, because in New York City, when they switched Jammin' 105 to Power 105, and they put Ed Lover and Dr. Dre back on in the morning, and they wanted somebody to do the weekends that was from New York. And it was Lisa G that used to be on with Ed and Dre, told the program directors, you should put Chubb on. And the program director was like, I didn't know Chubb does radio. He said, no, I don't know if he does radio, but he would be good. He has a good voice, and he's from New York. He knows the music, he knows the vibe there. So the guy was like, he was incredible. Michael Saunders. He was like, hey man, if you want to learn this, I'll teach it to you. And I said, sure. And then I would come up, and he would show me how to do my breaks and how to use the equipment. And then he said, start doing the weekends, start doing the overnights. And then all of a sudden he put me in the afternoons, and then I was off to the races from there.
Wow. And also you did radio here, 2018 or so, 2019, on 107.5, 97.5 here in Atlanta.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did Power 105 started in 2000, and I did it till like 2005 or 6 or something like that. And then I went to BLS, and I was at BLS from 2005 or 6 to about 2012 when I moved down here.
Okay.
And then from there, I came down here, and then I was on 107.5 here from 2012 until I syndicated the show in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's filling in the gap.
Now we're in a third year of the syndication here.
Right. And you got the Weekend Warriors, of course, going on now on 97.9 OG. How is that going?
Going great, man. We're excited about it. You know, we're doing extremely well. You know, and now we're going to be doing the afternoons in Atlanta again.
Oh, good.
So that's coming up very, very quickly. So we're excited, man. God has been good to us, and you know, we're just going to keep pushing forward with the broadcasting efforts. Digging in the Crates is on 40 stations.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic Caribbean now is on 10 stations, and then we got all our other shows from the Weekend Warriors and stuff like that. So the Chubb Rock Show is on 16 stations. So it's a good time for us, man.
Wow. Now, before you go, how about music? How about new music? You know, because me for one, I'm an old school man, so this new rap stuff, I'm not much into it. So we're looking for folks like yourself to come out with new music. How's that going to happen? Or is it going to happen?
Yeah. Because I'm actually, I did a new record recently that's on a new movie that just came out last week called, it's called 718. Hold on. What's the name of the movie? I think it's called 718.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yeah, I think it's called. Let me just make sure I'm not misquoting the movie. But we did a song. It's called 17 Days. I'm sorry.
Okay, 17
days with Omar Gooding.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we have a song on there called Brooklyn Affair. You know, produced by Saint from the Good People.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting because, you know, usually soundtracks go and they license my old stuff. They license Treat 'Em Right and stuff like that. We've been on many soundtracks, but this is the first new song of mine that made it to a soundtrack and in a film in many, many years. So I'm happy about that. The film came out last week, 17 days, and then we got some more new music coming out in another week, produced by my boy DJ Success from Brooklyn. And then we got music coming out with O'Henny Savant. I got music coming out with Milo Burger. I love music, so you know, that's never gonna stop.
Wow. And it's funny because in all these years, the first time I got to see you perform was really at the Mikey Sparkle Family Fun Day, and you just tore it up, man.
Yeah, the Michael Sparkle joint was cool, man. That was real nice. And that's the same thing that we do Jerk Fest. It's going to be different, though. We're going to do a little bit different there. But, you know, the whole culture. See, here's the thing. People might wonder, but wait a second, Chubb is doing hip-hop. Why would that be at Jerk Festival? But people got to understand, man, and at least in my opinion and many other people, hip-hop music derives from the Caribbean culture.
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, the godfather of hip-hop is Kool Herc, who's from Jamaica. Right? So it derives from Caribbean culture. So to say you're going to be on a Jerk Festival and you're doing hip-hop, that doesn't make sense. You know, it makes sense. And think about all the Caribbean hip-hop artists out there, not just me, but Biggie and Pepper from Salt and Pepper and Buster and Dougie Fresh and, you know, Nicki Minaj and all. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So, you know, we're supposed to be there.
True.
You know, so we're going to give some hip hop there and we're going to have a good time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm sure the folks are looking forward to it as well. Shout out to your fans all around the world, man. And where can they follow you on your social media and all that stuff?
Yeah, Chubb Live, CHUBBLIVE. You can come hang out with me on Instagram and DM me. And, you know, we always have nice conversations on there about the culture and hip hop. And, you know, more and more now, people want to have conversations about hip hop and the state of hip hop. And I think it's incredible. So Yeah, that's where they can find me, Chubb Live.
There you go. You know what, man? It's been a pleasure. You are an icon, in this business, and it's a pleasure for me to talk to you, much less to interview you.
Man, the pleasure is all mine. I appreciate it.
No
and I'll see you at the Jerk Festival because you're going to be there.
I will be there, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you there.
To drink a white rum.
No, well, I don't drink, but I'll drink some water with you, some Red Bull or something.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't drink either.
Oh, you know,
I was being funny.
There you go. All right, man, I'll see you there.
We'll let Marissa drink the white rum for us.
There you go. I'll see you on Sunday, my brother.
Just me later. All right, brother.
Blessings.
Peace.
Peace.